Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lightweight. Come grip with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Elgato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Elgato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Elgato Azul. My partner in slime, Mr. Jamie Dunn, Carolina Lightweights.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to the Slime Show, baby.
Man, I tell you what, I'm happy to be here with the birthday boy himself.
Oh, yes. Yes. The big 5'1".
Do you feel a day older or you still feel the same?
Man, I feel great. Other than my eyesight's shot, I got bad knee. My back's messed up. Other than that, I'm great.
Oh, man.
I feel good, though. 51. Good.
Good. I know it won't be long until I hit the old 50, and I'm like, man, I wonder if that's going to hit me like a ton of bricks.
I'll tell you what, I am 10 times the angler I was in my 40s. I'm 100 times the angler I was in my 30s. So, life's good, man.
That's right. That's right, man. That's awesome, man. I tell you, I was excited about doing the show tonight, man, and ready to do this. We got an excellent show. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, we're going to have some fun. That's for sure. I don't know if we'll learn anything, but.
Oh, man. We always learn something, Chris, if it's the right thing or the wrong thing.
Well, we got a few people starting to filter in.
Yeah, I believe a lot of them's running late today, man.
Yeah, man, it's freaking hot and humid here. I was slow moving getting out here to the shop. Like,
man, I come out here.
It's like a hairdryer blowing on you.
I come out here an hour early to turn the AC on a little bit, and we've been under a like a heat wave warning here, man. It's been, the heat index has been unreal. So I see you got Matthew Mosley over there, man, hollering happy birthday, buddy.
That's my boy Matt up at Texoma. It's our teammate, Carolina Lightweights.
Yes, sir.
Washed out up there at Texoma for I don't even know how long, man.
Man. Yeah, it looks like we're starting to dry out a little bit around here. I think they said we might get a little shower tomorrow afternoon, but other than that, we're going to start hitting a dry spell.
Yeah, it's that time of year that the faucet gets turned off. So Jimmy Moore says can't do anything but get better.
That's right.
I'm going to keep trying. Lewis Parker, happy birthday. Appreciate you, bro. Mark Vidal, welcome in, Mark. Appreciate that, buddy. May get to fish with Mark again soon. Go hit those Jurassic dino fish.
Oh, man.
River's been up too high the last 2 weeks. I hadn't been able to fish there. So.
Well, speaking of that, man, I'm excited what we might be releasing here very, very soon, Chris.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
I'll tell you, I know all them boys with them big old gar. I mean, y'all stay tuned.
Just need to get about an 8-footer on one.
That's it. That's for sure.
On it already.
I know we got a lot of people excited about it. A lot of people's been seeing what you've been doing. And we working hard behind the scenes, man, but we wanted to put them to the test.
We're going to give them hell. Tommy Boy says, happy birthday. Appreciate you, Tommy. Chris Thompson, a.k.a. Santa Claus. We need to go fishing, bud. Let's go hit them. I may have to go jump on Santa's boat and go do some crappie fishing.
Man, that sounds like a blast.
We're going, competitive angler. We're going. We're on our way, bro. He says, let's go, El Gato Zul TV.
What's up? Man.
Realist Fishing. Appreciate you, bro. Ed Jenkins, welcome in, buddy. Ed's one of our teammates over at OperationVetsWithNets.org. You know, it's in need of some real therapy. If you're a cat fisherman that wants to give back, wants to donate your time, wants to donate money, you can go over to OperationVetsWithNets.org. Get signed up for a trip. Get signed up to be a boat captain. It's good times, boys.
It don't get no better, man. One hell of an organization out there doing it for the vets, brother. That's for sure.
Terry Woodrow says, happy birthday, brother. Terry's got, and he's also into a nonprofit, Donate Life Catfishing. It's about donating your organ, being an organ donor. So I don't know that I've got Terry's link, but you can go over to Terry Woodrow's page, or you can go to Donate Life Catfishing on Facebook. Matthew Mosley is a guide on Texoma. Well, right now he's just guiding his butt on the couch. I'm going fishing with William Oliver in July. I got trips with William Oliver, Chris Watson, Vess Cooks, Trent Hall, Chris Moody. All my guide buddies said, hey, let's fish. I'm like, yes, sir. That's all you had to say. I like fishing, in case y'all didn't know. Matt Mosley says, we are going tomorrow to give them hell.
Nice.
Good luck, bro. Good luck. Hope y'all get on them. I'm going Sunday with the boys. I'm going with Jesse Campbell, my son, Action Jackson, and his two boys, Hunter and Hayden. We're going to go catch some 7-footers.
I tell you, man, every time y'all get together, man, it's pretty wild.
Dude, that last one was 7.5 feet long. When I went with him, man, that was an insane fish, dude.
I love watching them young.
See one like that in person. It's freaking awe-inspiring, dude. Wow, crazy.
Them young boys out there, man, doing it to it, man, having a good time. That's what it's about.
That's the one where we were all four were holding it, and that fish smacked my son and sent him off into the river. That was greatness, man. We didn't realize what had happened till I watched the video. I'm like, damn.
I know what. Hey, that shows you how powerful them fish are, man.
Oh, man, when you see one go nuts by the boats, like, holy crap, they got power.
Man.
JBN says he's got 3 freaking biceps.
That's it.
Jimmy Moore going with Watson Friday, going to be fun. 27 years of experience. Yeah, so we're going to go do some not top secret, but some experimental fishing. Some new experimental techniques to see if we can get something figured out. I bet we can.
I guarantee you'll be able to, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, we got 70 years of experience between the two of us. So if we can't figure something out, probably need to take up golf.
Don't try. Hey, I've tried it. Golf was not my thing.
I ain't trying it. You can bet on that, buddy.
I couldn't swing a daggone club to save my life and hit a ball straight.
My younger days, I could swing a club, but it wasn't at a golf ball. John Young says, I like catching over fishing. I am big on the catching part. A lot of guys say it's not really about the catching. Those guys are full of shit. It is all about the catching.
It's all about the catching. That's right.
Tom says, that was epic. Yes, that was one of my favorite little video clips, seeing him get lit like that.
Oh, man.
Steve finally got to go fishing. He said he almost got his rods out, and then 50-mile-an-hour winds out of nowhere stuck the middle finger up at him.
He couldn't win for losing.
Oh, man, that sucks. 50-mile-an-hour wind will make your butt get tight quick. I've been caught in one of those power cells, and when I was getting off the lake, it was full steam riding those waves, and I just had to get it onto shore and run for cover. The lightning bolts were just coming down, so I just ran and got in the truck. And when I got back out, there were boats. I had managed to get around into the cove.
Yeah.
The other boats, they didn't have time to get to they didn't go around into the protected cove. They just put it up on shore. And when I came back, boats were 10, 15 feet up on land.
Oh, man.
Just up on land, because the waves were damn.
That's wild, man. That shows you the power of water in the storms, man. You don't play with it.
That I don't know what it was a power cell, but it had that sheer wind where it's just like, not good.
Them straight
lightning was
winds to be held.
Striking down all around us. Is good times. Catfishermen are crazy.
You got that right.
Ed Jenkins says, Jamie, we need to get together and fish here soon. Moving to SC in 2 weeks.
That's right, brother. Let me know, man.
Ed, about to get on them South Carolina fish.
We got some people coming in August, coming into town that we're going to be taking and doing some fishing. So we get starting to get everybody lined up that's coming into town. So we'll definitely get together.
I want to make a round, head up north and come back down and in where you're at.
Well, I tell you what, man, that'd be good.
Want to fish. So what's cool is I don't even have to take a boat. I just got to fly there. Once I get there, I can jump on 20 different boats.
That's right, man. That's right.
Go fish all these lakes that everybody says are the best. Go see what they're all about, man, because I like fishing.
We're going to try to target some flatheads Saturday night, man. Get ready for a tournament that we're holding, not this weekend, but next weekend. We're going to be holding a tournament on the Great PD River. So we're going to go look around and target some flatheads and see what we can come up with.
Man, I went flathead fishing with a couple of guide buddies last weekend. We hooked into 4. We had a monster on. We lost all 4 of them, man.
Wow.
Coming back with big baits, just crushed and didn't get the hook in their mouth, Man,
that's wild. I tell you, that's the way it goes sometimes with flathead fishing.
We had 4 cracks at them. We lost. We were 0 for 4. My son got about a 25-pounder all the way to the boat, come unbuttoned. I couldn't blame it on him either. It just Houdini'd. It was gone.
Man, I tell you what, we still got a lot of people coming in. I see
Brett
Rusty.
Williams says SmackDown, baby.
Welcome in, Rusty
Right,
Duncan.
Moving on down, Catfish Junkie. Me and Stinkbait Lily gonna hit the Ross Barnett Reservoir Saturday. Hopefully the jet ski folks take the day off.
They ain't no.
Don't bet on it, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't bet on it. They've been out full force. Hell, they're up in the trees now. They used to stay out of the areas to fish. Now they're up at the last trip, man. They were up in the trees. There were guys skiing up in the trees. Like, do y'all not know there's trees about a foot under the water?
They running tours, like these jet ski tours and stuff. They actually taking these back small creeks and stuff, man. It's crazy. And you used to be able to get away from all that crap in some of this backwater, but now that's where they want to be.
I don't get it, man.
Tom
says the catching is great, but he does love to be out there.
That's it.
I'll tell you what really hurts. Have a bad trip and then go the next week and have another bad trip. That's painful right there. Polar Bear Chad.
Welcome
in. While, bro.
Been a while. It's been a minute.
Everybody wants to catch a fish. There ain't no doubt about that. That's why we do it. Brian Henry says, what's going on, Chris and Jamie? Lone Star's up. Happy birthday. Cheers.
There you go, bro. I got one in there for you tonight myself.
Mine's a little higher octane than Lone Star. Tub and Tackle says, what's up, fellas? Welcome in, Tub. Oh, man, he's superhuman. He's got 7 biceps. He's a freak of nature. Rusty Duncan says hello. Well, that's awfully quiet for a coon ass, Rusty.
Hey, I want to say welcome Tom to the 50-pound club. He got his decal this week. So he is now introduced into the 50-pound club. So congratulations, brother.
Taking Tommy under my wing. I'm getting that boy ramped up. He's going to be freaking laying waste to the monsters this winter. We can get him dragging.
Chris, he was so excited he almost took himself out the back of the boat.
I love that. That's a good time right there. Nothing will make you screw up something faster than an adrenaline rush.
I tell you, that's what I'm saying, man. I was actually proud. I was actually watching that live when he hooked into that fish, and
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I love seeing my buddies do well. Rusty Duncan says, what's up, guys? Tight lines, everybody. I'm looking for a drag peeling super monster this weekend. I'm hoping my birthday fish is an 8-footer.
Bro, I tell you, it's right around the corner, man. Y'all definitely going to be getting them.
We've been catching a bunch of monsters, but I want one of those lifetime fish. You know what I mean?
Y'all putting in the time, that's for sure. So I know.
It'll come. Just need some luck.
That's it.
I'll tell you, if you're a good catfisherman, gar fishing's easy. Catching them's not like hooking one is difficult, but finding them on, if you got pretty good catfish knowledge, that transfers to big alligator gar very easy. It's very similar style of fishing. They're hard to hook. It takes a little
That, Chris, that's the thing to me, man, is I watch a video that you had of how much line those fish were taking out before you actually set the hook on that joker. And I will tell you, that would make me nervous.
You know, a gar, when they first take a bait, they don't have it in their mouth real good. They just bite down on it.
Yeah.
And then they take off. This is alligator gar. They take off. They always travel downstream when they take it. So they grab that sucker, they take off downstream. Could be 150 feet, could be 150 yards. They could swim downriver. And once they get almost to where they want to stop, you'll feel them start crushing that thing. They'll bite you feel it, like, crushing that thing. And then they stop. When they stop, they're repositioning it to get it down close to their gullet. And when they get it down close to the gullet, they hadn't swallowed it yet. It's just in their mouth. And then they'll start swimming upstream, and your line will start going limp. And once your line starts going limp, you try to catch back up to them as fast as you can. Once you catch up to them, you freaking hoe off into them like like you're trying to rip them out of the water.
I tell you, man, it looks like a blast.
Bassmaster Classic. Oh man, I'm like, every time I'm like, I tell whoever, you might want to get it back because I'm about to knock your teeth out. You standing behind me.
And what I love, Chris, is the bend in that pole, man. Holy crap, though.
Oh yeah. That a lot of times when you hook them, they're still coming at you and they don't really know. And you can reel them all the way to the boat. And then they realize they're hooked and they freaking take off like another 100 yards. And then a lot of my videos, I edit out the reeling them back in. They'll take off 100 yards and I reel them back in and I'll show the deal by the boat. And then they see that freaking lasso and they're gone again. And then you reel them back. They do that 5, 6, 7 times. It's a cool fish fight. They show off at the surface. It's cool, man.
I know you've told me, man, how many times y'all have had to let him go out, come back in, go out, and come back several times. That to me would be a blast.
Yeah, Chad said gar usually like to eat the bait head first, and that's true. So they'll reposition it. They'll stop, reposition the bait in their mouth so that they can swallow it whole. And then they come upriver. Once they start swimming upriver, they're about to swallow it, and that's when you can get them.
Yeah. Jamie Moore
Green says you do not rip them out of the water, and that's true. You try to rip them out of the water. They actually try to pull you into the water. Yeah. So if you don't like, I've been with a buddy. I went with Mosley and Rodney Alexander, and the drag was locked down. Rodney's a full-grown man, and that drag was locked down, and that gar tried to rip him out of the boat. And, we grabbed him and saved him from getting pulled in. But, yes, they will try to pull you in the river. Now, my reels have 26 pounds of drag, and it just pulls that off like it's nothing.
Wow.
Locked all the way down. It's crazy. My buddy Bill had a reel it's a shark reel. It had 38 pounds of drag, and that fish he caught, it wasn't even that big of a fish. It was just stripping that 38-pound drag like it was nothing.
Man.
They don't fight a long time, but they fight hard for about 12 to 15 minutes for a really good one.
Alex, what's up, brother? Alex, Texas Fish. What's up, buddy? What hooks, Chris? I got a question. What hooks over on the Facebook side?
What hooks?
Yep.
Alligator gar?
Yeah. You
I've
want
been
me
running a 3-aught treble hook.
you want me to show one, or you got one?
Yeah, show one.
There they are right there, guys.
That's a 3-aught treble hook.
Yep.
I believe that one is an owner. That's an owner that I had you get, right, Jamie?
Yes. Yes.
That's a 4X owner. That's a bronze, so that one will rust if you get it down in their throat. But a lot of guys use just saltwater, treble hooks. But the problem is if they swallow it, it's
Yeah,
stuck.
that's the saltwater version right
I've
there.
got some of those as well. Those are 3-aught 4X.
Yeah.
That's an eagle claw. That silver one's an eagle claw.
Yep.
One I got Jamie's an owner. Both of them made in the U.S.
I can tell you guys that Joker, they
That
are
sucker
some
right there.
that will
I'll get that in you. Boy.
trust you me. I have poked my fingers more time with this thing this week. They hurt.
What's crazy is I run a double hook rig, and when you pull one out of it, because you lose a lot of guard, they're hard to catch. They're hard to hook. I mean, you may get 10 runs before you hook one. Big fish. And you think, man, how could that many freaking hooks come out of their mouth and not one of them be in the fish? I don't get it, but they're hard to hook. Well, summer catfishing patterns. Jamie, done? Have you
Right
cracked
now?
the code? Have you cracked the code?
I tell you what, we have figured some things out for the summer patterns, man. I believe we've cracked it pretty hot and heavy.
Do you got multiple patterns that you can go off of?
I do. I've got patterns, man, for high water, for pretty much oxygenated water that has got a lot of water come out. I got a pattern for that. I've got the pattern for their highways that they're traveling this time of year. So especially the flatheads right now, man. They're hiding. I got their pattern down pretty good right now. They're hiding behind a lot of structure out the running water, just like a lot of people's talked about. So yeah, we've got a pattern down for them boys pretty good right now.
Yeah,
And
those 4 we hooked into were all right around big boulders.
yeah.
And they all come about 7 p.m. Between 7 and 8 p.m. we got all 4 bites.
And Chris, how tight are they holding to the boulders that you found to be holding?
Man, they come out from the boulder. Once it started getting dark, we put some up right next to the boulder at when it was still daylight, and we got one. We lost one. But once it got dark, we didn't get, I don't think we got any bites on the ones that were right laying on it. It was 10 feet off of it.
And that's the reason why I asked you that, is because the later it gets, man, they start coming away from that structure a little bit.
They woke up and left, they were sleeping under the rock. Then they woke up and came out looking, I guess, went right past the one that was laying there by the rock. Because I know they were laying under that rock.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
My buddy fishes that all the time. He's like, yeah, it's these rocks. They just live under these rocks.
Mm-hmm. I know right before, when not really the sun's up, but that late afternoon before it gets dark, they're still a little bit tight to that structure. And then, like you said, when the later it starts getting, the more they come out, they start to feed up and stuff. And actually, that's when we start bringing some of those baits away from that structure a little bit. Now, I won't put it as close. Now, during the day, I'll put it right in the structure.
We found big blue cats in the daytime. They wouldn't bite. Found a big group of big blues. 20 to 40 pounders. There's probably 10 or 12 of them. They wouldn't bite.
Why you think they wasn't hitting, Chris?
90-something degrees. They go nocturnal right now.
Yeah.
You catch one, but the majority of those fish, if we would have gone and fished them after dark, or at dark, we actually left those fish and went to the rock pile for the prime. We went to catch flatheads.
Yeah.
Before we fished for flatheads, we went and scanned for blues, and we found them. They were up in about 20 foot of water, 18 foot of water. They did not want to play. So as right before it started getting dark, we moved and went to the rocks, set up on the rocks.
Was it all pretty well still water, Chris, or did you have some water?
No, there was flow. There was flow coming in from the mouth of the river, and the Brazos flows into Whitney. So we were in about 6 foot of water, and it dumped off into 20 foot, about 15 feet behind the boat. We caught everything right there in the shallow area.
Nice. And y'all fishing straight on the bottom, or was it pulled up off the bottom some?
Fishing on the bottom. Fish right on the bottom.
Yeah. And I tell you, man, I do it a lot of ways, Chris. A lot of other people does it different ways. I like letting mine hit the bottom, and then I'll pull it up a little bit so that fish is actually, off of it just a little bit. And I've had a lot of good luck catching some nice flatheads doing it like that.
Dodie said, "Get ready, Chris. I'm moving back to Texas soon, DFW area." Well, let's get it.
Oh man, Texas is getting ready to wake up even more.
Yeah, we're gonna make some people mad when you get here, buddy. We go down there and get these alligator gar. You never seen so many guys get pissed off just because I'm fishing down there. Y'all know how I feel about that. That just makes me want to go more.
Oh, heck yeah.
They don't like you coming into their territory and doing things that they're having a hard time doing, even though they're there all the time.
The bad part is, man, you know how you're supposed to invite everybody in, man.
I give everybody an opportunity, but you do me wrong, you're out.
Yeah.
But here's one thing. Some of these guys were my friends. Supposedly my friends. But just me going down there, now I'm an enemy just because I've gone down there to fish in a river. Mind-boggling, really mind-blowing. Don't know why people are that way.
I don't either, man, but there's a lot of them out there like that. Tom said, after 9 a.m. Saturday, we didn't get many bites. The 50 I caught was right at dark last Thursday.
That's it, Tommy.
Yeah.
So if you're going to catch them in the daytime, it's probably not going to be a big fish. Eaters will bite till about 10:30 a.m. and then the bite's pretty much over. And if I'm fishing for those, I'm typically going to be around sand bass on mid-lake structure. I'm talking about main lake points, humps. If I'm fishing for those, and you can still catch a good one here and there, but that's pretty much the morning bite. Big fish aren't really biting. They're nocturnal. They go nocturnal. They'll start biting right before dark. And they'll bite. They'll have different bite times throughout the evening. Typically, the big blues, if you're on a lake with timber, they all go into the timber.
Yeah.
You won't even mark them. You will not even hardly mark a big fish out in points, ledges, any of that stuff. They just leave those areas. They go straight for timber. Thanks, Trinity. Appreciate you, bro. Tommy said most of the fish Saturday were 10 to 23 pounds. That's timber fish. I bet you were in the timber. I'm betting you were in the timber.
Chris, I get asked the questions all the time. how do you figure out the summer patterns? How you sit down when you go to somewhere? How you start? What's your go to? How to figure it out?
Okay, if you're just coming straight out of spawn, let's say, because a lot of guys, your fish are just now coming out of spawn. If you're just coming out of spawn, you want to be really close to spawning habitat. And I mean really close, because when they come out, there's a lot of food and stuff where they're spawning, and they don't really travel too far. That pattern will last about a week or two after they come out of spawn. So it's a very small shot at catching giant fish right when they come off their nest. They're going to be right around their spawning habitat. After that, they're going to move to get comfortable. First, they want to eat. Next, they want to get comfortable. So getting comfortable is for here, it's very temperature related. So they're going to be looking daytime. They want some shade. That's why we fish timber, because they like to hide in those shadows during the daytime, and they like to be in about what depends on where the thermocline is. That's another factor, because we got thermocline in a lot of lakes. So you got to be above the thermocline, which, typically is going to be in 20 feet. Sometimes it's 25 feet, but typically it's going to be around 22, 20, 15 feet. So you're going to be in somewhere in that depth. Deeper water, but above not deeper water, mid-depth water above the thermocline, preferably around timber or rocks. Derek, during the spawn, they could lose 25% of their weight.
Yeah. So when they come off the spawn, Chris, I get also asked, a lot of people say, man, well, all they do is eat once they come off the spawn.
They do for about 2 weeks. They'll eat for about 2 weeks. And then they become, it's a very short bite window. Summertime blue catting, it's usually a short bite window when they really turn on and feed. It's not like fall or winter where you're catching them all day or, long bite windows. It's all happens within about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it's pretty much over.
I know pretty much during the summertime, I'm strictly all nighttime fishing myself. 100%.
For big fish, it's almost a necessity. You can catch eaters in the early morning and in the late evening.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun too, but I mean, really, we're all trophy anglers for the most part. So,
as it
if you're going to have any real measurable success, you got to be fishing at night.
Yeah.
Post spawn, after about that 2 week span after they leave the nest, after that, you got to be fishing early evening / nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah. Derek said we caught a 65 Saturday the same length as my 80, my last 80 that he caught.
There you go. About 20-25% of his body weight gone.
Yeah.
And it's not like they just pack all that weight back on in 2 weeks, because their metabolism's super ramped up in warm water. So they're burning that stuff off, even when they're just laying there. It's not like winter where everything is slowed down, but they're still able to be active and feed. So.
I tell you, man, it's rough on these catfish. It really is. I mean, they practically, it seems like, just lose all their body mass. I mean, it's a pretty rough deal for them, on the spawn. And then when you catch them after they start coming off, man, some of these fish look like death worn over. They really do.
Yeah, I saw a picture of one the other day. It's like, how is that thing even alive? There was bones showing. There was no tail left. It rubbed itself down to the bones. It was just looked like he'd been drugged behind a truck. It's crazy. Still kicking. Yeah, that dude spawned hard. This is a medium-sized fish, so they got to compete.
Yeah, with the larger ones for sure.
Yeah. They take an ass whipping.
Cats on the Rock says, "Happy birthday, brother."
Appreciate you, bro. That's one of the guys I'm going to go fishing with if I can go make it out there. Alexander's Taxidermy. Rodney Alexander, it's one of my fishing buddies. That's the mayor / taxidermist. Welcome in, bro.
Trinity said, "We have a tournament Friday night, and some of our fish are coming off. Plus, we got thermocline already going to target creek mouse."
That's where I'd be.
Yeah.
Right next to spawning habitat. So typically
I can tell you,
spawn in about 6 to 10, 12 feet of water. You get right close to that. They don't necessarily have to be right in it, but somewhere really close to that.
I can tell you, man, a lot of the flatheads right now too, Chris. I'm targeting a lot of creek mouse, and they love setting up on them creek mouse this time of year also. It really is paying off.
It looked like they're 51 years old.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's Tom said
5-1 today for me, boys. 5-1. Feeling good.
Tom said a couple last Saturday were torn up pretty bad.
You know, they heal up pretty quick. But right when they come off, they're usually banged up real good. Even the big ones have giant bite marks and stuff on them.
Derek says, "Do you downsize your baits in summer for blues?"
I do. I think they're not. I've had just as much luck with medium-sized baits as I have large baits in the summer. I think that they will hit us. They'll all, like anyone says, elephants eat peanuts, but I just think in the summer they're more willing to eat everything, anything that's really, if it's right there for them to eat and it's easy, they're going to eat it. If it's their bite window.
That's it.
Wintertime, they figured out how to key in on sluggish baits, bigger baits. So they go after those because that's what they're keying in on. Big baits that are moving very slow are easy prey for them, and they would rather get easy meals. Whereas in summer, if something's dead and small, it's an easy meal. They're going to eat it.
Joseph Jordan says, "Come to Kerr Lake and teach me something."
If I lived closer, I'd be there, bro. I'll come up there sometime. Fishing's basically the same everywhere you go. The differences are the types of lakes. It's a mid-depth lake. It's a lake with current. It's a lake with a lot of timber. It's a lake with deep ledges, like a canyon-style lake. All those canyon lakes going to fish very similar. All those timber lakes going to fish very similar. Doesn't matter where you go. The difference will be the predominant bait patterns in that fishery. What kind of bait is in that lake that they're feeding on? It's never one type of bait. They like to eat crappie, so there's a crappie pattern. They like to eat carp. There's going to be a carp pattern. They like to eat shad. There's a shad pattern. They like perch. Bluegill. There's a bluegill pattern.
Yep.
You can go off of any of those types of patterns and specifically target them for that pattern on every lake.
Yeah. What was y'all's mindset, Chris, when y'all went out last weekend? What was the first thing? I know y'all looked around. How were y'all went about far as going for the flatheads?
Well, we went to the north side of North Little Lake. Been a lot of water coming in. lot of flow. 27,000 cubic feet coming in there. So it was flowing when we got there. Lake was on the rise. We went up to the north end of the lake, found some rocks. Current was flowing out along the rocks. The wind was blowing this way. Made a little vortex behind those rocks. That's where we fished.
Yeah. So
we
pretty
put our
much
boat right up on shore. We fished that little shelf that was, that's 20 feet deep. Then there was a shelf that's about 6 feet deep. We fished that shelf.
So pretty much all the water, you were pretty much in not a real heavy current pattern.
No, we were in slack water.
Yeah.
If you went 50 feet that way, you were in current.
Yeah.
We were in a lake, but there was pretty good amount of current coming through there.
Yeah, I know those flatheads, man. They love getting just outside that current, and
that's what
they love. Yeah.
Just got right on the back sides of those rocks and right in those rocks.
And that's where a lot of bait,
right
man.
up on shore.
Yeah, and that's where that's like a funnel for bait, man. They come up in there, they sit up in those areas to rest or just take a break out some of that current a lot of times, and man, that's where they start feeding up on them. And
Tommy says he was thinking since the crappie have moved to mid-depth timber, that's where the big cats would be there, and that's part of it. So there's 3 things they like to do. They like to eat. There's food there. They like to be comfortable. That mid-depth is about as deep as they can go before they get to the thermocline. There's also shade there from the trees. That's a great combination of things where they can hide in the shade for the daytime. When they wake up at night, they don't have to travel far to feed because there's crappie all on those trees.
Yeah.
And, really that depth, Tommy, there's fish in that water damn near year round. Now, there's certain times of the year, there's other places where there's more of them. But that depth that you're in right there, there's fish there year round.
is it?
Usually. You just got to find them.
Jamie Moore says, I was successful using small cut of perch, anchored and fresh medium shad dragging.
That's pretty much my experience with it as well. They'll eat a whole perch though. I mean, they like perch. Well, we call them bluegill. Y'all actually have perch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ours are bluegill. Y'all's perch look like our white bass.
Yeah, that's on Santee Cooper, man, that's candy to them. It really is. They love
like all of it. It's just certain ones prefer bluegill. They'll be around those bluegill most of the time. Certain ones prefer carp. They'll be around those carp and gar all the time. They won't even stray. They won't hardly ever leave where those gar feed because they just have figured how to feed off of those gar. There's other ones that follow white bass and striper around because they feed heavy and hard and they injure a lot of bait fish. And catfish like an easy clean up style of dinner. Look at all this dying crap that's floating in the water. Let's go clean it up. We fish that pattern a lot. It's a very successful pattern. They love eels in the rivers, and Jamie loves eels too.
Yeah,
he uses them in the lake though too.
Yeah, I'm very successful with eel, man. Eel's one of my to-go-to baits, and the bluegill. Those 2 baits are my to-go-to.
So if there's fish that are in the lake or river that are being very active, you can bet there's catfish around them.
Oh, yeah.
That activity is what draws them in there. And then, they like an easy meal. So,
especially this time of year, Chris, where I'm finding I could go to an area and catch a lot of bluegill out of a certain area. And I'm going to tell you, I'll drop a rod down in a heartbeat, man, and there's catfish there. They really.
Yeah, my live scoping buddies are like, man, I'm going to go catch bluegill. He's like, man, I got there and the bluegill wouldn't. They were freaked out. And I would see these cat. He's like, you can see them catfish, the blue cats coming in. You know, they just come in like they're roaming. You know, come in and the bluegill are freaking out, trying to hide. He's like, the blue cats wouldn't leave my stuff alone. I couldn't catch fish because the fish were all freaked out.
That's true, man. That's true. So if you find you a big old pack of bluegill, man, I'm gonna tell you, fish it.
Yeah, no doubt. Bluegill, crappie, pretty much any game fish. They like black bass. You know, when those little black bass are schooling, little black bass, man, they like to be around those.
Yeah.
I've noticed really big fish like to eat anything that's about this big. So, you know, that's a small crappie, they like that. A bluegill, they like that. You know, a large gizzard shad, that's the size these big fish are eating. They just key in on something about like that. It just seems to be that's the right size, about a 10, 12-inch bait.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, you got that water flow we were talking about earlier, Chris, coming out some of these creeks. A lot of these bluegill, man, I could go to a mouth of a creek and I could just catch whatever I need in bluegill right in the mouth of them creeks, turn around right there at dark, and go back and tear up the flatheads.
Yeah. Yeah, them flatheads move in there. You know, they're not far from there.
No. They just right out the outside.
And go right up there and eat.
That's it.
They're going to be close to the food. Same with the blue cats. They might not be right there on the food, but they'll be real close, where they can move in there and get something and move back out. They're not going to be right in there with it, because then the bait's all freaked out. They sit outside the zone, and when they want to move in there, they go in there and eat.
That's it.
Real fast. Boom. They go get it and go.
And I tell you, man, right at the mouth of them creeks where we're talking about, you got some depth changes right there. You got some, you know, shallow areas off just to the side. Then it comes down and then back up. So you've got some good depth changes in the mouth of some of them creeks. And it's just perfect for these fish.
Wesley says, sorry, I'm late. We'll forgive you, Wesley. John Wayne says, what's up, boys? Welcome in, John Wayne.
Welcome in, brother.
Polar Bear says, 2 weeks ago, I took a friend bluegill fishing. We cut it up, caught about a 9-pound channel. First time fishing in 30 years. I bet that thing pulled like a dolphin.
Heck yeah.
Well, Tommy, it's very doable. You're going to be you need to fish similar areas you're fishing. Right at dark, you're going to have to switch to live bait. Bluegill, you know, any of those baits that I've been showing you, hook one up live. Leave that sucker on there live.
I can tell you, Tom.
Those big ones, you're going to have a fairly heavy weight, because that bait, those big baits will swim your stuff off. But throw that stuff right up in there by those big trees, man. What you'll notice is those big trees at the bottom, they have a root flare. That root flare goes out. Where the root flare is, it's got anchor roots. A tree's got these anchor roots at the bottom. It's got probably 6 or 8 anchor roots. And those flatheads will get right in between those anchor roots, and they'll wallow out a hole. They'll live under that tree, underneath that tree. And when they come out to feed, a lot of times they're just feeding up and down that tree, or around the area around those trees. If you can find that little grove, like that area you caught the 50, be a good spot for flatheads. You need to switch to live bait and, put that stuff right up at the base of those trees. You'll get one.
I can tell you, Tom, that area where I saw you in, brother, if you was to spin where your front of your boat was, some live bait, I guarantee you, brother, you would hook in some monster flatheads in that area.
There's 100 pounders in that lake for sure. No doubt.
Because I can promise you, if I was on that lake with all that timber, that's exactly what I would be doing, man. for sure.
Yeah. So we had William Oliver on. He fishes. He's probably, if not the best flathead tournament angler in the country. He's right there at the top. He uses live scope. He catches all of them off timber in the daytime, and they're snugged up against that timber most of the time in about 15 feet of water. So if that tells you anything, in 8 to 15 feet of water, sometimes a little bit deeper, but he said doesn't matter what lake, where he goes, that's kind of the magic depth for him. There's certain sections, obviously, that they like better, but follow those creek, find those little runs of trees that are right there next to that creek.
Yeah, for sure.
He's putting his baits, suspending them right over the flathead. Flathead's here. He's putting the bait 6 inches, 4 inches from their face. So think of it that way. They're on those trees. Get that bait a little bit up off the bottom, right on those trees, Tommy. You might have to put one bait on this side of the tree and another one on this side of the tree, because they're 1 foot makes a big difference for fish like that. Now, nighttime, they'll get up and move around a little more.
John Wayne said, that's where I've had best luck, in the mouth of the creeks. John, me and you, brother, we thinking a lot on a lot of that. You've seen how I fish, and a lot of these boys around here, they believe in doing a lot of stuff pretty much like how we've been doing it. But yeah, some of these areas, man, at night, these mouth of these creeks are just lethal. They really are. And
John
they hold.
said he's had luck behind the bridge columns.
Yep.
Yeah, they like to get out of that current. If there's a little bit of flow, even better. Bridge columns, it's like a natural, it's like a man-made reef. You know, it's going to hold bait. Not all the time, but if you can get around columns that are holding bait, there's generally going to be fish there.
Well, I'm going to tell you too, Chris, especially after a lot of high water, you get a lot of this structure that comes down that actually gets caught around these bridges. And man, and when it does that, it causes some new structure on the bottom. I don't know how it happens. It kind of rolls. A lot of the structure gets caught on the very bottom. So sometimes when you roll over the top of it and you get on the back side, that some of that new structure, man, and that's where you can catch a lot of these fish also. It's amazing that these bridge columns, how much structure they hold. It really is.
Brad Spark says, what's up, fellas? Great to see your smiling faces. Love you guys. Excited for a fun show. Stephen Poole says, him and Levi just joined the Live Scope family. All right. You're going to probably pull your hair out trying to learn that thing. Most cat fishermen first start out just using it for bait, but it'd be a good tool for flathead fishing for sure. My buddy says he likes to put it on landscape mode when he's anchoring for blue cats. It's like he said he's learned a lot seeing how they constantly move. He's like, man, just they move in, they're constantly moving. You can see, like, definitely see that's a big blue cat. It's cool to see how they move in and check things out and leave.
And that just shows you the pattern that a lot of these fish use, man. They go into some of these areas, they check it. They leave out and go to the next spot, do the exact same thing.
If you're in an area like that, you don't have to, I mean, if you find the area, you don't have to set up on fish. They're coming through that area. That's a little different scenario. You just, if you get in an area that has fish and you throw down, they'll be coming through there. And even more, if there's some little things that you can put your bait by that's a little different, a little pile of stick-ups right there, a little rock that's sticking up right there, or one little tree that's sticking up. You put a bait right there, sometimes you'll catch every single fish off that one little stick-up or that one little tree that's sticking up. You won't catch another fish on 10 other rods, but that one little stick up. So find those little things that are different if you're fishing those kinds of areas, because fish know it's there. They check that when they're going. They're like, oh, I'm going to run by that little stick because there might be a bluegill or something unaware when I swim by it real quick. Steven says, can't wait till after the spawn. Already scouting lots of trash timber around the columns and pylons, like Jamie just said.
That's it, man. Areas that will definitely pay off for you, I can promise you.
Seems like they can just sit behind those columns for easy meal to get pushed to them. And the bigger they are, the less they move.
That's it.
Really big fish, you don't see them up moving around a whole lot. They just sit there. They find a good spot, wait for it to come to them.
Chris, you know what I find amazing, man? It's kind of like these. Everybody takes off and just runs away from a lot of these areas, man. When they get in their boat, think, I mean, I got to run 100 miles up the river. And we've talked about it before, man. You know, especially right where I unload on the Great Petey River. Some of my best fishing is right at that bridge. I mean, right there, man. I'll sit on them areas, or I might run away from it for a little bit, come back when nobody's around to see what kind of I'm doing, and I'll check those, you know, the backside of them areas. And a lot of people overlooks simple stuff like that, and that's normally where you can find a lot of your big fish. It's just
Trent. Last trip, I fished with Trent Hall. He says, what's up, Chris and Jamie? Happy birthday, Chris. Had some yard work. And he's a guide down on Whitney, and he's like, man, there's a big one that lives underneath this rock. We've hooked it multiple times. Can't ever get the fish in. Always has a trick. And we hooked it. We lost it. But he's like, it always runs against the rock and breaks the braid, or always does something. So it didn't work for us. So Wesley Grubb says he has a veterans trip on Saturday at Kentucky Lake, Tennessee River. I hope y'all smoke them, Wesley. Hopefully you get your veteran a PB. There's William Oliver says, hey, fellas, happy birthday, Chris. I'll be coming to fish with William on, July 13th or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but. Oh, William's going to put me on a monster flathead.
nice.
Derek Wilson says duck blinds are overlooked.
Very, I know. Yep. 100%, brother. 100%. And it never amazes. Well, it does amaze me at what a lot of people overlook, man. I mean, simple stuff. I mean, they make it hard for themselves, and it's normally so simple. It blows my mind. I mean, some of this structure, some of these bridges, I'm not going to overlook. I'm going to scan it, and the majority of the time when I do, they're just holding fish.
Certain things like that hold them all the time. It's like they're resident fish.
Yep.
They stay there all year.
That's it.
Some like to move a lot. Some of them like to stay pretty tight.
And the tighter you can get to it, normally the better off you are. On the pylons, as far as the bridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you, at night, like we talked about a while ago, Chris, at night, I will pull off of it some, because then they're going to start heading towards the bank side of it.
Yeah. We hooked into a good one that was right next to the boat. up in about a foot of water, just pitch the, pitch the bluegill off, right there, and it grabbed it and swam under the boat and was gone. What are you gonna do? That's fishing.
Try that trick I told you about, Chris, and I promise you'll.
John Wayne said a lot of people will get hung up once or twice, and that's when you know you're in a good flathead hole.
If you're not losing rigs, you're not fishing
You're not in
hard.
the right area.
That's it.
That's what Trent said.
And John Wayne knows
rigs. You're not in the right area.
And John Wayne knows. He's seen me fish a few times and stuff, and he knows I love structure.
John Wayne says that's when those Carolina lake weights come into play. I've been using them on them gar, man. So here's the thing with those gar, John Wayne. They'll run your bait so far, dude. I mean, 100 yards, and who knows what is on the bottom of that river. There's all kinds of whole trees and stumps and all kinds of debris down there, and they'll run that thing and run, and then just drop it. So to reel your stuff up, it's drug that thing. But I've noticed when I put them Carolina lake weights on, I stopped losing most of my stuff. So it's coin sinkers, man. I lost, I don't know how many rigs one day. It's like, damn, this is brutal.
I remember when you called me up, Chris, and said, "Hey, brother, we gonna change it up." And I told you, and you sure enough, man, you like, dude, this is awesome.
It made all the difference.
And I've been using these river weights for a long time, and it helps. It helps. I'm gonna tell you.
I switched all mine to 3 ounce and didn't lose another rig.
Yeah,
I was losing about every second cast, every third cast. It's like,
and what blows people's minds when you actually sit down and you demonstrate from a river or the drifting weights how they work to the lead sinkers and stuff. They're like, wow, man, I didn't even think about it like that. And you just have to sit down, show, say, well, this is, and they're like, wow. And
I had a buddy said, man, I don't want to use my expensive stuff. I'm like, how many freaking rigs do you lose? I mean, and your time, dude, the time it took me to have to retie all day. It was like the whole day I couldn't even enjoy myself because I was building rigs. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a bunch of extra gar rigs that day. So it was like rig after rig after rig, losing them in the sticks, timber.
Yeah.
Brutal. I hadn't lost one since. So
I've always told when you start losing and the money starts heading out, you'll call me.
Wesley Grubb says what killed him was someone wanted to have an old school tournament without fish finders on the lake. Don't advise not to have some sort of depth finder. I would agree. If you don't know the lake, you need a depth finder to know, are you in timber? And are there full size boat arc trees a foot under the water? Because a lot of our lakes, if you don't have electronics and you don't know the lake, you could get in a lot of trouble. It's dangerous. Not just going to damage your lower unit, but I mean, you could get thrown out the boat. You start hauling ass across the timber.
Yeah.
I've fished a handful of those and I won all of them but one. Guys like, hey, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to do what I used to do 30 years ago. I'm just going to use all the stuff I know today on top of that. I'll do fine. We ended up killing them, didn't we, Jamie?
Yes, sir.
We lit those guys up. It wasn't even a competition, man. They were all getting skunked, smoked, 2 fish in the boat.
It was kind of hard to watch, Chris, because y'all boys were.
We lit them up.
I kind of felt bad for the other ones.
The guy's like, "Oh, you're going to be in trouble without a fish finder." I said, "Man, I've been doing this my whole life. I can catch these fish in my sleep. I don't need a fish finder to know where the fish are going to be. I pick 3 spots on any fishery, and the fish are going to be there 95% of the time. If you've been doing something as long as I have and you aren't pretty good at it, you probably should do something different. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. John Wayne says, I don't even look for fish most of the time. I'm looking for depth changes with lots of structure, big live bait. I've even used small blues. Little bullheads, man. I love that. That makes a hell of a catfish bait.
I've never used those, but I hear a lot of guys say those are the best.
Yeah.
Doty says anything that's flopping, it's more of a reaction type deal.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, I
would probably agree with that because William Oliver, he uses jigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but he said sometimes we target them with jigs. It's the action and the presentation. It's the presentation and the actions what gets a flathead to attack. If I'm fishing for blues, I always look for fish, not just simply for fish, but also the size of fish that I'm looking to catch, because I can go find 10 different groups of fish on any given day. I can go find 10 groups of fish to fish any given day. Out of those 10, there may only be 2 of them that got good fish in it. And I'm not going to fish them unless they got some good fish.
That's right.
And I used to just fish. Oh, there's fish. There's fish here. I'm going to fish them. But over time, I've just used the depth finder to determine, are there good fish here? You're not always going to see them, but if you see some really good fish in a group, you know that those aren't usually the only ones. There's going to be some other ones around. John Wayne says he used to use a brick on a rope for the depth finder. That's most of us old schoolers did that. Wesley Grubb says, amen. Yeah, depth finder for anything for a tournament really is a safety issue. So I know a lot of old school tournaments will allow you to run the lake, but then you have to turn, it's an honor system. You got to turn the damn thing off once you run the fishery. You can't use it to find fish. So Trent says, I can tell you he don't need to know water temp, because I asked him, we're on the water. I'm like, so what's the water temp up here? And Trent looks over at Vess, and Vess is laughing. He's like, I'm like, you knocked the gauge? He's like, man, I knocked that thing off a long time ago. He's like, I don't even use. I was like, you don't need the water temp. Here's Trent's water temp. He sticks his finger in the water. Yep, that's about right. Let's fish right here.
Love it, man.
Oh, man, he's good, though. He's been fishing as long as anybody. So do it as long as Trent's been doing it. You ought to be pretty damn good at it.
Wesley says, I've caught channel cats with crankbaits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've caught all blue cat. Hell, I caught a blue cat this winter. I caught a 38-pound blue cat this winter. Retrieving, my bait was up on the surface about 3 feet back from my planer board. I was dragging a planer board in with a bait behind it, and I got it about two-thirds of the way to the boat, and a 38-pounder hit that thing, went airborne. And it was in the winter, and I was in 27 feet of water, and that 38 pounder went airborne and hit that bait on the retrieve. That's when I got the idea, because I had caught a lot. I had told Jamie, man, I'm catching a lot of fish on topwater this winter. I caught more fish on topwater this winter than I ever have. And I mean, I was in 44 feet sometimes, and I would catch them on the surface. I'm like, man, these fit, and these are big fish. And I'm like, man, these fish, I'm catching them every trip. I'm catching one or two on top water. And I actually had one hitting on the retrieve. So a lot of times it's when they're going out. So you deploy your rig, right? I got sinker slides. So mine shit's up on the surface as my boards are going out. I can see the demon dragon floating back there. And before I can click the board in where it starts pulling and sinks back down to the bottom, I got a fish on. So even in the winter, I'm catching big fish on the surface. It's crazy.
I tell you, man, it was amazing though, Chris, from stuff you were telling me at some of the size these people don't realize this in some of this water, in that shallow water up on top and stuff.
This wasn't even in shallow water, so I could imagine they even go even more so if they're up shallow.
Yep.
I think activity, when they see that thing on the surface, a lot of times there's shad on the surface, and those blue cats going to come up there and eat them, All right, have a good dinner, Steven. Tell Levi we said what's up. We're going to get y'all announced soon. Just bear with us, man. There's Patrick Gilliland. He just got him a new PB flathead, like a 50-pounder and some change. I'm not 53 or something like that. That's what we fished, John Way. A current break, leaving out sharp curve at the creek mouth with some structure.
Yep. Tom said, I'm excited to see those rigs.
So Tommy was with me the day we fished the debris field, and the first fish we caught was on that rig. He's like, that's Jamie's rig. I'm like, I was like, damn, it worked. And it was that one right by the boat. So it was and
I'm going to tell you, Chris, we've been talking. I know a lot of people's going to say, okay, when we're going to see this thing, we're working as hard as we can. We got a lot going on right now. But not only is that rig working on how you were doing it, but on Anchor, you've seen some of the pictures of the stuff I've been catching off of that. Man, that it's been wild. It really has.
If you got some flow, that thing would be lethal.
Yes. And what I love about it is I can make some adjustments to it and make it even. There isn't. It can be adjusted to make it even. Well, y'all just stand by and wait. That's coming soon. I don't want to give everything away, but it's a pretty crazy. I mean, it works. It really is.
Action Jackson was like a zombie reeling it in. Man, we're gonna have them on these freaking 100-pound fish this weekend. These boys got 2 9-year-olds and a 6-year-old. Talk about fun watching those boys reel in 100-pound fish. That is freaking about it. That is funny. All 3 of them can do it. Now it's a battle, and I got to take the rod from them 2, 3, 4 times throughout the fight just to get the fish back under control, because the little dude can't control fish, but.
It's hard for an adult man, a full-grown man, to handle some of those fish, Chris. The way they are.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys lose them because they don't know. I mean, unless you're battling a lot of fish and have a good sense on how to control them, you can steer fish when they're not running. Once they're running, you can't stop them, but. Once they stop, you got to steer them away from a tree or away from a bush or away from the motor. If you don't, you're going to lose these kids would lose every one of those fish if I don't physically grab the rod and steer it away from the tree that's over there. That damn fish is going to run straight for that tree, and it's gone. So, man, I hope we get an 8-footer. That's a fish of a lifetime, but I'm going to get one. I saw a guy caught one a couple of days ago, 8-footer. Crazy looking, dude. What do you got?
A birthday card.
You got me a birthday card. Going to have a happy birthday, or have I taught these cats to sing for nothing?
What's up, buddy?
Show them the card you made.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, buddy. Love you. Oh, man. Tom says his shoulder is healed up now and he's ready. Tommy, you want to drag your boat down there next weekend? I'll go. If you're game, I'll go. I'll get the bait. Catching a lot in the summer. Yeah. Don't stop catching. I hadn't fished in 2 weeks, so I'm freaking it's eating me up. John Wayne says he caught his PB on a big live brim with a big spinner and a rattle chat. I rigged up. Nothing else worked. Gave him a 57 and his PB of a 48 back to back within an hour.
Tell you what, John Wayne, man, he can catch some nice fish also. That man right there, he's lucky a lot of things.
Jimmy, I got to check the flow, but I talked to my buddy Jesse Campbell, called and said he's got his boys for the next couple of weeks and wanted to go fishing. So I'm going to go down there and jump on his pontoon if the river's down. I think it should be down. Said it was coming down, finally coming down today to a fishable level. So Tom says, let's do it. So Jimmy, Tom says he'll take his boat. If you want to meet us down there next weekend, it's going to be a Sunday. Dang, that doesn't even look real. That's crazy, dude.
This is my little granddaughter. She just turned 4 months. Say, hey.
Man, put a fishing rod in that girl's hands.
I tell you what, man, she's about ready to eat a hamburger with me.
Has Rebecca got her trained up on making dragging weights yet?
The hell of a rig.
She makes a heck of a rig, I can promise you.
Oh, man. Chris, I've been fishing down on the Trinity River, and I've been fishing. Last week I went to Whitney. We struggled. We caught fish, but we were flathead fishing. We caught blues. We lost our 4 flatheads. So. Had a monster hooked up. I hoed off into it. It didn't move. It was a giant. Appreciate you, Jesse. Appreciate you, man. Tommy, I got the rods. Leave your rods the way they are. I will bring the rods. I've got 6 rods rigged up for Gar. So I'll bring the rods. I'll bring the bait. As long as you got side image, we can go find them. River should be at a good level. Tommy said they opened Lavon more today. Yeah, so they as the river goes down, they start letting water out of the lakes. That's the flood control. So all the lakes on the Trinity River chain will begin to open up the gates and let the water out. The initial rainwater, they close a lot of the gates. They just let the rainwater subside out of the river, and then they meter it out of the lakes. El Gato Azul, it's an old fishing name that my buddies gave me back late 90s, early 2000s, because all my buddies were like tournament bass anglers and stuff, and I liked to catch catfish. So they called me El Gato Azul. I had buddies named, everybody had nicknames. So mine was El Gato Azul, the blue cat. I had another buddy named Crappie Chris, another buddy named Bluegill Vince. One of my buddies was called the Bass Kicker because he liked to fight. We all like to fight, but out of a bunch of guys that like to fight, he really liked to fight.
Man. John Wayne says, I just can't bring anything worth a crap in a tournament. Jamie, I might need to some of that jello bait. Well, brother, not this weekend, but next weekend. We are putting one on at Yohanna, man. So come down for that one. Have a good time with us.
Trent, I'm going to try to get down there every weekend, buddy. I'm going to be down there every Sunday. All I got to do is have a ride, a boat ride. I will bring bait. I will bring the rods. Just need to jump on a boat. Trent says he knows he can't this weekend, but next week is open. Next week? Well, maybe we can take a day off. If you're talking a weekday, I doubt you're talking a weekday, but I'm game to take a day off.
Comes to fishing, Chris said, I'll take a day off.
I'll take a day off because it's, we're getting to be where it's about to start really getting hot. I'd like to hit it hard, right? It's going to get real. It's not going to be super pleasant to go down there on that river when it's 100 degrees. So, Tommy says he's got the Garmin and Lowrance side scan. Well, we can find them then, Tommy boy. I'm by no means an expert, but I got good fish knowledge. And I feel like once I know the technique, I can fish for any fish in the world. Do pretty good. War Machine is not down, but it is not really. It's a big boat. It's a big boat for that river. It's a lot of boat. When I pulled it down there last time, all those guys down there were going, holy shit. I want the boat down at 287 down by Richland Chambers. Trent says weekend. All right, Trent. Sunday, bro. That's my fishing day. Jackson's got basketball games on Saturday mornings now. So
Ryan Smith said, what's up, everyone? What's up, buddy?
I mean, I could take it down there, Tommy, but like I said, it's a lot of boat for that river. Jimmy says he's tied up till after the 4th. Well, they'll be. It's really just now getting good. Oh,
I was going to.
it's been really good every
I
trip.
was going to ask you, Chris, what's kind of the season on those down there?
Man, they bite all year. My buddy Chris says, "Man, I've caught." And guys say they don't bite in the fall and early winter. He's like, "Man, I've caught them all year. On a warm day, they'll bite like, you know." But traditionally, it's usually April through usually October is when you start seeing guys switch back to catfishing.
Nice.
They really are super active and easy to find when it's hot because they come up for air. But they bite when they're not, like, I mean, hell, several of my trips, they weren't sipping. They were all on the bottom. You couldn't see the fish. I mean, occasionally you'd see one chasing something and go, crash the surface. But
How those fish, Chris? They like high oxygen water, low oxygen water, or
no? So they can sip air. They're like, they can sip air and breathe. Get it? They can breathe by coming up and getting air. That river gets almost zero flow in the summer. It's gets down to where there's no flow. It's very low oxygen level. They get in those deeper holes.
Nice.
You got to come up to the surface to get to sip air. So,
all right, just got a question. Just joined. Should I fish deep holes on the river in the summer, South Carolina? Well, my friend,
I might be able to swing a day off. So, all right, Trent, I'm down for that. Sorry, Jamie.
no, you get if you're fishing daytime, yeah, for sure. Now nighttime, I'm fishing shallow on the rivers. Mostly this time of year, I'm fishing nighttime. I start out a little bit, probably in the 15 range when I start in the afternoons, and towards the nighttime, I'm moving from anywhere from 12 up to 5 foot. But if you're fishing during the day, majority of the time you will hit the deep holes during the day.
Tom says they can live in stagnant water, and that's true.
Yeah.
It's not really stagnant. I mean, it's not moving, but it's not stagnant because there's carp and catfish that live in there as well, and they need some oxygen. So there is some oxygen, but it's low oxygen.
And see, Chris, that river, it has like a muddy look to it and stuff. It looks just like the Great PD River here. I talk about a lot, lots of structure and stuff like that. How's the catfishing on that river?
A lot of flatheads, big flathead river. A lot of limb liners, bush hookers, like what you like to call them.
Yeah, I know what I like to call.
We had a guy that checked this one bush. He was a bush hooker while we were fishing for those when I was with Trent and Bess. He checked this same bush about 10 different times. It must have been a hot bush, Now,
are they checking it during the day?
Yeah, they checked it during the day. All those guys, we saw a couple different guys checking them. And the last few times I've been, somebody's camping. And when they go, I don't know if if they go like run their lines in the morning, but when I come back to the ramp, they got a bunch of fish tied, on a stringer. I didn't see any giants, but they had some 20s and 30s on a stringer that they had got that morning. I got a buddy that's a bush hooker that just does it for fun. He throws them back. He ties a bush hook. He's put one like 30 yards long off of that thing in current. around bends and stuff, and he does well. He's like, man, I'll catch 20 freaking flatheads fishing like that. Come check him in the morning.
And see,
And then he turns them loose. He's like likes to pull them up by hand, and then most guys don't do that.
yeah, they keep, yep,
They keep them. They eat them.
man. How to find?
Anything out of that river? It's one of the most toxic rivers you've ever seen.
Wow. Oh,
Because
how to find giant flatheads this time of year in the river. We were just talking about that before you come in. We were just talking about on the backside of the big pillows on the bridges where there holds a lot of that still area where they can get right behind. A lot of creek mouths, small creek mouths that has the shallow sides, that has different areas in the front of it. Majority of the time at night would be jam up for those flatheads in those type of areas. So
log jams, lay downs.
log jams, yeah, lay downs. During the day, I normally would hold tight to those structures. During the night, come off of those structures a little bit. The fish are out looking for that bait. But I'm gonna tell you, I would hit the creek mouths hot and heavy right now.
So I got buddies that do well during the day.
Yeah,
in the river for them, and they fish mainly just log jams or lay downs, and there'll be a little hole right in the log jam. They'll have 150 pound braid, and they'll put it right down in that hole. They won't fish for more than 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes on each little hole. If you don't get a bite almost instantaneously, and it's like, you got to be, it's like, a cat on a string. When that thing hits, you got to get that thing turned and rip it right out of that hole, or else you lose.
About to say that's the point of it right there, man. When you suspending in them holes, that big structure, and if you're not on that rod, I'm gonna tell you, it's going to be hell getting that fish out of there.
And they said you can't really catch the big ones out of there like that, but the 20s, 30s, you can rip them out of there like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Over that, you usually SOL. Is it worth catfishing in creeks off the river? Not the big creek, but big enough to get the boat through. Never tried it.
I'll tell you, smaller creeks I love. Get that water flow that's coming out the swamps and stuff like that. The smaller, the better is what I've loved. I mean, if I can put my boat in it, I'm fishing it. And that's how I measure a lot of these creeks. If I can put 2 rods in the mouth of them, I'm fishing it. And normally it pays off. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of patience to wait at night for that time when they start biting. But I'm telling you, man, that's where you need to be. It really is. Same way with the lily pads. Those catfish get up underneath these lily pads where all these bluegill hold. If you find you a big hole inside these lily pads, sit on top of it. It will pay off. Especially if you've got some trees with the lily pads around it, fish it. And you'll catch them. See if I've missed.
I'm getting caught up here.
Man, I tell you, my service tonight is awful.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine seems to be all right. It doesn't. I noticed I only had 1 or 2 bars earlier, but I don't. Have you lost me at all?
No, not at. I caught my PB in front of a creek mouth, 60 plus blue. There you go, man. Same way with the flatheads. I'm telling you. Same way. Ryan Smith was asking, hey, Chris, how would my boat do on the Trinity Deep V Tracker?
It'll be good right now. You can get it on there, no problem. As soon as the flow completely drops, you wouldn't want to take it too far, but it's still doable. You can take it down there, man. Get you some of that good bait. Holler at me. I'll show you how to tie up a rig. I've been using that 49 strand stainless cable. It's 279 pound leader. I've been using 3/0 treble hook, double hook rigged, about hand size bait. They're not easy to catch, but they're fun.
I was about to say, Chris, you think we're hold on to that a little while longer, or show it off what's coming, or hold on to it?
Ready to start selling them?
Well, I need about 3 more days, and we will.
All right. Well,
we'll go ahead.
Fish on them.
We'll go ahead and show them off.
I've caught a bunch of fish on them. Rodney Alexander is wanting to buy a bunch, so
yeah, my phone has been ringing. There you go.
There it is.
There it is right there, guys.
3/0 double hook rig.
Yep.
That is the
49 strand SS cable right there. And Chris, I'll let you pronounce the name of it.
What'd we settle on? The Paradise.
I like the last one that you said there. That
the Dino Dice.
The Dino Dice.
I like it, man. I'm gonna catch an 8-footer on it for my birthday.
Yep, and that will come with the 3-way on the this end right here. With that,
Rodney says he's got his card out now. He's polishing it up. He's ready.
And I will tell y'all, these hooks right here, be careful with them bad boys. I'm telling you, that is some sharp stuff.
I've been playing around, and that seems to be the best one I've used. I've garfished with about 6 or 8 different guys that garfish, and that's the one that I've settled on liking the best.
But these will be available one day this coming week.
We'll say this for you guys that are going garfishing. Make sure you bring the tools to get the hooks out of their mouth. Don't even freaking go down there unless you got the right tools. You need super long needle nose pliers. You need 2 sets of them. You need a lasso to get fish in. You will not be able to get a big fish in without a lasso. So you need a lasso to get the fish in, and you need 2 sets of really long needle nose pliers to get the hooks out of their mouth. You can't. They have some freaking serious gnarly teeth, and you have to get the pliers in there, turn sideways, then get the other set of pliers in there and pry it open, and then you can reach in there and get the hook out of their mouth.
John Wayne, I'm definitely planning on that, brother. I'm definitely game for that. Get down there with Chris and them boys and catch some of them bad boys.
I'm game, Ryan. I'm game, buddy. We'll go down there and go find some fish. Those gar are everywhere. They're all up in that Trinity. just finding the right ones. I mean, it's not like they're not super hard to find. They're just super hard to hook. Yeah, they're hard to hook. It'll make you get really discouraged when you have 12 hard runs and you lose all 12 of them. We had Cody on the show probably 3 or 4 months back.
Yeah.
Tommy says he'll bring the gar rigs that he was given a few years ago to show me. Got some monsters on the river this weekend. Yeah, my buddy caught one out of Lavon last spring. So he caught about a 6-footer, 5.5-footer out of there. He's like, "What does this look like to you, Chris?" I said, "Looked like an alligator gar to me." He's like, "Yeah, I guess I got the lake record because there's no lake record for alligator gar."
Wow.
Yeah, you do.
So y'all don't have a record keeping of those, Chris?
They do, but I don't know. It's done a little different because how do you measure? How can you weigh one?
Yeah.
Giant. How do you even weigh one? You don't. You can't. They
I was about to say, man,
length and girth, give an estimate on the weight.
what would be cool is putting a tagging system, being able to tag
They
those.
do tag those on the Trinity quite a bit.
Oh, they do?
Chris Moody, who we had on the show, he's in the tagging program. He's tagged, I don't remember how many he said he's tagged, but he's tagged 700 of them or something. Wesley Grubb says his river growing up was out of the Sabine River called Indian Lake in Deweyville, Texas. Nothing will fight an alligator gar besides maybe a real alligator. Alligator gar are the apex predator in that river. They will eat anything that they can fit in their mouth. And they can fit giant fish in their mouth. A 7-footer's head is like this wide. And it's all mouth. I mean, it's all throat. That thing's just an eating machine, man.
Chris,
it can eat a 20-pound catfish, no doubt.
You see a lot of the pictures that you show and the videos and stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, that's just being, in there to hold that gar has got to be unbelievable. That sets it. That's when it gets real of how huge and how big those things are.
Trying to lift one up, especially like when you're like just bending over in the boat to pick a giant one up, you can't do. So my buddies they're like, let's put this in your lap. Well, then they lay this fish in your lap. It's like, damn, this thing's heavy. And I want to take a picture standing up with it. They're like, well, you need some help? I'm like, I'm about to power lift this damn thing. I can still do it, but I'm getting old, so it gets a little harder each year.
That's it. Chris Wheeler said, howdy, y'all. Sorry I'm late. Work. What's up, buddy?
Appreciate you coming in, man. So for y'all guys that are in here who aren't subscribed to Jamie's YouTube channel, it's Carolina Lake Weights on YouTube. Right, Jamie?
That's it, man.
It used to be Carolina Reel Screamers. Now it's Carolina Lake Weights.
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of cool things over there, a lot of short videos, shorts. We got a lot of videos over there of myself and Rebecca, man, catching some nice fish. We're getting ready to start cranking it back up here real soon and putting some new stuff out there. So, yeah, guys, if y'all haven't joined us, man, go over there and give us a follow and like it.
Terry
definitely-
Wood says wants Trent. Let's see here. He wants all you guys to send him a friend request. So he went through here and named some guys, but Chris Wheeler, Wesley Grubbs, Rodney Alexander, Trent Hall, John Wayne, Dan Weldon. He's got some questions for you guys.
That's it. Want to be outdoors. Yeah, we're now under Carolina Lake weights. We were Carolina Real Screamers, but now it's Carolina Lake weights. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much.
Trent said, be aware of the can opener on the far bank pillar. I just recommend not getting anywhere near a pillar when that river's flowing. River's up, you won't have a problem with the can opener, but once it's low, there is a I-beam or something that's knock a hole in your boat if you're not. I've never taken my boat down there when it's low water because I got balls, but I think you got to be straight dumb. Take a boat like mine down there when it's low.
Okay, yeah. Should I be trying off the log jams or anchoring 100 foot in front of them and throwing baits in front of them? What works best? Well, that goes back, man, if you're doing nighttime or daytime. Nighttime, bring it off of them a little bit. Daytime, they're holding tight to it.
Jamie, Matt says it's still under Real Screamers when you share it.
I see that. I don't know why. I'll check that out too.
So Matt, can you post Jamie's link in here so guys can subscribe? We never ask for subscribers, which we're not really good at.
Yeah.
I'm not really, we don't care so much to try to get subscribers, but hey, let's help Jamie get a few subscribers.
We're going to try to get that thing to 1,000 this year. We're going to try it.
You got to stay active, man.
That's it.
When I was more active, I grew steadily. I don't YouTube anymore. I mean, we do the show, but you don't get any subs from the show.
Yeah.
They don't promote these live fishing shows for you. It's not a thing. This show's not showing up anywhere on YouTube unless you're searching for the Slime Show. They're not putting this show in front of anyone. Why? I mean, hell, I don't know why, but in order for you to grow something like this on YouTube, you got to have people sharing you out. Nobody does that.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't
watch.
Yeah, we don't get
most of our guys are on Facebook.
That's it. We don't get a lot of help from the YouTube side of things.
That's fine.
We're sort of out.
Our group is a bunch of really hardcore
That's
anglers,
it.
which I like.
That's it. We're sort of on the outside of that ring that everybody else is in. We really do it. We take it to a different level.
There's Jamie's link. Appreciate you, Matt.
Hey, appreciate it, buddy.
If y'all can click on there and give old Jamie boy a subscribe. When you do, go watch a short or something so it'll stick. That's what they used to say. I don't know if that's still the case.
I still hear that from time to time, Chris. I don't know. Yep, Carolina Lake Weights. And guys, speaking of that, Carolina Lake Weights Facebook group page, check it out. That thing has grown big time.
Yeah, we need to ask guys to invite their friends again.
Yes,
That's how that grows.
that's it.
It's an active page.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Got that
always
thing
something.
rolling, man.
There's always something on our Facebook group page. There's a lot of cool stuff over there. That's definitely, man. If you haven't joined that, definitely check it out.
Is this the group page or your Facebook page?
The one that he's got both of them up there, Chris.
Okay. Because you got a company page, but we also have a Carolina Lake Weights Facebook group where everybody can post their Carolina Lake Weights fish and stay in contact with each other, answer questions. Ryan Smith says he just subscribed.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, we're going to invest in a new camera here shortly. I'm going to try to.
I keep saying I'm going to make videos, and I've got all this video footage. I had a trip where I caught 2,000 pounds of catfish, and I thought, man, I got a lot of food. But I fished for 8.5 hours that day, and half the day is fish catching action. And I thought, man, I got to go through 4.5 hours of footage. And the guys that edit know if you're watching 4.5 hours of footage, you're actually watching it 5 times.
Yeah.
That's 20 hours of watching video to make a video. I'm like, I just could never do it. I'm like, man, I can't bring myself to do it. I can't do it. It's too hard.
It's a lot of time
consuming. Video is much easier with 1 or 2 fish.
Yeah.
You know, my trips I get overwhelmed because I got all this. Like, all right, I fished for 6.5 hours. I got 3 hours of footage. I don't want to go watch that 3 hours 5 different times to make a video. I'm like, hell with that. I got these gar trips. I've videoed these gar trips. I'm like, man, these are going to be epic. I can't bring myself to edit the damn things. It's a beam.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. The time there's not enough time in the day hardly anymore. I can tell you,
fishing. I don't like editing.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool to have something to look back on with, you know, your guests and my son, and so I probably need to do it. I need to figure out how not to have so much footage at the end of the day to have to go through. I mean, it'd be better if I just got the good stuff, you know?
That's it.
It's like you start filming every run. Well, hell, this last trip we had 50 runs. Each run takes a minute or minute and a half, like 50 runs, a minute and a half each one. It's like, damn, I got 2 hours in runs, just the run. That's not including we caught 8 fish. Each fish fights for 10 to 15 minutes. It's a lot of footage to go through. Tom, that's what I do. But there's a lot of good stuff.
Can't choose from one of them, man. You got all that good stuff.
That's my point.
I'm actually going to try to do some recording.
But trips, we do a lot of epic fishing.
I'm actually going to try to do some videos Saturday night while flathead fishing, and maybe we can do some demonstrations of how we're setting up, how I do with the bait and stuff, and
that's the best way to do it. You know,
yeah,
that's the hardest stuff to remember to do.
It is, because man, you get out there
fishing, you forget to explain everything.
Yeah.
You got to explain for it to be a good video. It's not just the fish catching. You got to do all the B-roll stuff, and that's the video just going down the river, the casting the rod, putting the bait on, explaining what you're doing, looking at the graph. All that is what actually makes the good video. I got the fishing part down. I don't see too many other YouTubers that catch fish like I do, but I suck at the rest of it. Can I get some AI to make my video? Oh man, I don't like the TikTok. I tried it for about a month. Got about 1,500 subscribers. It's like just not for me, so I gave it up. I did enjoy YouTube lives, but I got into fishing with so many other guys, and most guys are not comfortable in front of a camera. And it's an awkward day of fishing if one guy's just silent the whole day because he's nervous to be on camera. He's not having fun. He's not being himself. That's blows the fishing trip for me because I'm out there to have fun. And I mean, if you could do a live stream and you not tell the guys that but you're talking to the camera. I mean, you can't get away with that. If they would just act like they do when the camera's not on, it'd be greatness. But not everybody likes to have that camera on. I mean, that's kind of how I got going in the catfishing industry by my live streams, because guys are like, man, you catch more big fish in one trip than the rest of these live streamers do the whole year, Yeah. And I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I just fished with me and my son, and the more guys I've had come on, it just turned into something different. So I quit doing the live streaming about 2 years ago. Tom says he only does the lives when he's alone. Some of my best trips are with guys that are on the boat, but they are used to be the camera. Like my buddy Bill, he used to come fish with me live, and he'd come during trophy catfish season, and we would just have epic trips. And he was good at talking to the camera. And when I was catching a fish, he could talk to the chat, explain everything what was going on, and we worked good together. But
that's it. And John Wayne, brother, we can take my boat anytime you want to go catch those big alligators this year. So definitely, man, we've got to do that for sure.
GoPro has an edit. It'll take all your new and turn it into 2 or 3 minute video. So I can just plug all my stuff in and say, make a video out of this, and it'll pick all the good stuff. Wheeler, I just have a hard time thinking that that's actually a thing. So like, for instance, this gar fishing, we have 50 runs. Out of the 50 runs, we caught 8 fish. We had over 50 runs. Each run's like a minute and something. Out of those 8 runs, we caught 50 fish, or not 50 fish, 8 fish. Each fish is anywhere from about a 6 to a 15-minute fight. So, and then you've got quite a few that we got halfway to the boat. So it was a 2 or 3 minute fight, and you lose the fish. So you end up having to watch all that stuff again to say, okay, that's the one where we lost that one. Can't use that. This is a cool gar run. So let's put that. It was screaming off the reel. That's a good one. Let's use some of that. But once you get going, it's like you can't stop. Once you get going on one, it's like, damn, now I'm in it. This is brutal. So,
Hey, brother. Yeah, I've never actually done it myself, as far as alligators. I know a guy, John Wayne. He's one of the best around here, as far as going after those. So, I'm anxious to get out there this year and go with him and do some.
Matt says if they can't have fun when the Texas tornado is jumping around the boat, then they shouldn't be fishing. Well, here's the other thing. When I have guests on the boat, my son doesn't get nearly as involved as when it's just me and him. When it's me and him, I make the whole day is about him. He's helping me. He's catching fish. I make sure he's having fun the whole time. When I have a guest, the guest is asking questions. We're having conversations. He's getting left out. He's a little bit shy when there's guys on the boat, unless somebody really makes an effort to be like, hey, let's include him. And that's the way it goes sometimes. So I told Jamie this year I'm gonna make it more about my son again. This last year it was really, I had a lot of guests on the boat. And we had a great time, but it does take away from my son a lot whenever I have guests on the boat. Jamie, do you hunt gators on Santee?
No, that's what I was just. Yeah, I haven't never done it myself, but John Wayne, man, I'm trying to get together with him this year and do some alligator hunting this year. I've actually never done it. I'm looking forward to it. I, I'm I'm like you going gator gar fishing, Chris. I've never done it, and I'm excited to do it, man.
Man, that fishing for gators looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I've been biting at the bits to go, and I'll take my boat, whatever. I know we got a lot of room, whatever we need.
John Wayne says Chris has that smile. It's my birthday, bro. What's in the cup? High octane. High octane. Slime juice.
The doctor got on me. They won't let me have too much of it no more, Chris. So I've had to back off on it.
I don't drink too much, but it's my birthday. How can I not
That's it.
celebrate, man? I never thought I'd make it to 51. That's,
Hey, man, you just getting going, brother.
I feel good, man.
We still got thousands of more shows to go, entertain everybody, and talk about fishing and having a good time.
I appreciate the happy birthdays from everybody. It's been a good one. I'm glad I could spend it with my boys, with my people, my slime family. Time with the kids is important, man, and he's growing up so fast. It's crazy. I look back 2 years, year or two. It's like, man, times are really flying by. We've made some incredible memories on the water.
I know every year, Chris, that we've all been going to CatCon, man, it looks like that boy has just grown like a weed every year.
He wears a size 9 shoe in the 3rd grade. I still can't believe that. His feet are so big. He's a damn good basketball player. He plays all sports, but he's really good at basketball. And his feet, when he runs down the court, sounds like a damn horse. Those things just clop, clop, clop. I'm like, damn, heel to toe, son. Those feet, you sound like a damn horse running down the court.
I told Rebecca the other day I can't wait until my granddaughter, the one y'all just met, can't wait until she gets a little bit older. She's gonna be on the boat with me. We're gonna be doing a lot of catfishing and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be good times. Catching those. It's fun when they're little. I started my son on channel cats first, just at the dock when he was about 1.5, and he it was hard to reel one in. I would just put a slip bobber so that he didn't really have to reel it in. He could just catch it and then just lift it up and put it on the dock. But he loved it at a year and a half.
No.
At 2, he could actually start cranking one in. It was very difficult to get his little hands on the reel. And I had a bunch of abus when he was 2. Still had a bunch of abus, and he would pinch his fingers in the level line.
Yeah.
And I got all those Dakotas, and it just fit his hand perfect. So he was able to really crank them in after that. So when he turned about 4, he could start cranking fish in and fighting them. So that's kind of the time frame. Year and a half, they can lift one up. 2 years, they can start catching a few eaters. And by 4, he caught a 46-pounder. And after he caught the 46, he was off to the races, man. He could reel in pretty much anything after that.
I think 46 is his low numbers now. I think he's catching fish.
He catches a bunch of those now. And it's crazy because you used to have to leave him in the rod holder, until he turned about like a big fish. Until he turned about almost 6, I think, we would leave him in the rod holder. So you would lose a lot of fish, and they would get into stuff and tangled. But I would just be like, oh, well, I mean, I just want him to get it, Well, once he turned 6, then he started picking them up out of the rod holder and battling them. And now he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
I watched him work that rod the other day. You had a clip of
that 6-footer cut.
Bam!
Man, he was working that thing. Some guy said, man, because we had taken a picture, and it was him and Vest next to, both of them had their 6-footers. And then Trent was behind them, giving thumbs up or something. And some guy said, oh, why don't you let the kid catch one? Come on my post. Some dude I didn't know. I'm like, dude, he's kneeling next to the freaking fish he just caught. What are you talking? Do you not? You obviously don't follow me, because the little dude's been catching giant fish. He's got records on every lake we fish, bro.
Hey, they got me that one out there that's a complete idiot, man.
I'm like, man, say you're an idiot without saying you're an idiot.
Tom said that dude pissed me off.
Me too. I had a lot of guys that jumped on his ass for that. They're like, dude, you obviously, I think Matt said, say you don't follow Chris's page without saying I don't follow Chris's page. Oh man. Yeah, I had a bunch of guys jumped his ass for that. He's only the double youth angler of the year, owns records on every lake we fish. Let me just let him reel one in every once in a while. Fishing World 123 says, is the great PD or the little PD got bigger fish, Jamie Dunn?
They all got good fish, brother, but I can tell you, the little PD has a lot of good fishing. I just can't fish it a lot because of the size boat that I have, but it does carry some good flatheads. But I'm mostly on the Great PD River. I've caught my biggest on the Great PD River. That's just because a lot of times those guys with those bush hooks and stuff are killing the little PD River. Every bush you look in, all you see is set hooks and stuff. But I'm a Great PD River person, so that's where I spend the majority of my time.
People always in other people's business. What I don't understand is somebody popping off like that when they know nothing. Like,
yeah,
you're barking up the wrong. I said, man, you're barking up the wrong tree, bro. I mean, my son comes fishing with me every week. He catches fish every week. I think I said something like, man, he's caught more big fish at 9 than you've caught your whole life.
Yeah.
You can bet the house on that.
Yeah.
I believe that too. The little dude's the luckiest. I tell all my guys, but he's a lucky little dude. I'm blessed to have him as my fishing partner because he makes me look good.
That's it.
I caught good fish before, but as soon as he started really trophy fishing with me, God has a way of rewarding when there's kids on the boat. And I just believe we get rewarded a lot when he's active.
That's what it's all about, man. That really is. What area of the Great Pee River do you fish? Honestly, anywhere from Florence, South Carolina, down to the coast on the Great Pee River. Without giving out specific information, I can tell you it's from Florence, South Carolina, all the way down to the coast. So you're probably looking around 50 miles of the Great Pee River where you could find me. So, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you take those that we talked about, those little tricks at fishing, the log jams, outside of that heavy current, and a lot of times the pillows of the bridges, the creek mouths, you're going to catch fish anywhere on the Great Pee River. It's all good fishing. It really is. During the day, pull tight, suspend over a lot of that structure during the day. At night, pull off of it a little bit. It'll pay off for you.
Walk says that gets on his nerves. And I'll tell you right now, it got on my nerves too. When I started doing the YouTube stuff, Michael, and I would have my son catching all the big fish. And then I would put up like a little short of him holding the fish saying he just broke the lake record, 72.5 pounds, also the junior state record. And someone would say, come on there and say, there is no way he caught that fish. And I've got a video of him, of the entire fish fight that I had just put up the day before. I'm like, it's right there. If you want to go, instead of piping off and saying no way he did it, go watch. I mean,
That's it.
You just reeled the damn thing in. I don't understand why. I get it. It's hard. Somebody said, man, you're going to have a lot of people mad that your son's out doing that. And the only reason is because he's doing things that they can't, that they're not. And I didn't get that. But now that he's been fishing with me for a long time, I fully understand it. There's just a certain amount of guys that don't like kids doing well at something that they suck at. I guess it makes them feel bad. So whatever, we're just going to keep doing it because I like doing it because it inspires other dads to fish with their kids. And that's the whole reason why we did the kid program, why Jamie invited Jackson to be on the team. We don't really get anything out of it other than hopefully it gets some other guys to take kids fishing, man.
That's it. Hey, man, I'm happy to answer any questions. I appreciate the questions on that. But like John Wayne's saying, yeah, man, if you go up past the 34, be careful. You start getting into a lot of rocks, a lot of shallower areas. I won't go up past that area myself because of all that. I run a prop. I don't have a jet boat for that. So yeah, I normally stay from Florence south. And sometimes I will go up to Society Hill and places like that and fish that a little bit, but very rare. Plus, depends on how much water in some of those areas too.
It is what it is, boys. We're just going to keep doing what we do because it's fun.
That's it.
That's my whole Facebook deal. It's all for fun. There's always somebody that's mad. It's constant. Some people are just miserable types of people. I'm not one of them. I mean, if it's not fun, I don't want to be part of it, really. You know,
Chris, we've talked about that, man. We say if things aren't fun, we're not going to be a part of it, and that's why we do what we love to do. We have a lot of fun answering a lot of questions, spending time with our people.
I like the
And
camaraderie of like-minded guys. You know,
that's
that's
it.
something that's cool and unique about our fishing thing that we got going. Most of our guys are very, even though we're from all different walks of life, we're all very similar natured type guys. We would all get along if one of my best buddies, could always get along with any of my friends. It's just something that's that I like about that. I like being part of something. So
I tell people if you can't enjoy or have fun and enjoy what we're doing, man, I feel bad for you. I feel bad
that's
for
how
you.
I'm like, man, it like now I get it. Everybody doesn't like everybody, but I feel like because a lot of guys, I told you, Jamie, I'm a polarizing type of guy. Guys either like me or they don't, and I'm fine with that. I can tell you this: I don't do anything to do somebody wrong for them to not like me. They just don't, for whatever reason, they don't like me. That's fine. You don't have to like me. Go on and be gone. I'm gonna focus on, what's fun, and you're obviously not. So
I can tell you like this: I'm gonna sleep good at night either way.
I sleep great at night. I'm gonna sleep good tonight too, boys.
I would hope you like what we're doing, or like me, or like Chris. I mean, I would hope that, but if not, hey, ain't no hair off my back.
It's all about that slime life. It's all about that slime life commonality.
That's it. And that's hey, Chris, everybody says about the community. That's what the community that I think we have
It's
built.
not a whole community. There's obviously you have to find the guys that are similar natured to you.
That's right.
Because a lot of guys are just you watch them fish, they're not having fun. I'm like, why you're out here doing all this and you're not having fun? Because I'm like, if you're having fun, you sure aren't showing it. I mean, fishing's supposed to be fun, but it seems like you're mad. You're mad. You're mad at these damn fish. Like this is supposed to be fun. And
that's right. That's right. And that's why I'm gonna tell you, that's why I have stopped within the last couple of years. I had pulled back from a lot of tournament fishing. I wasn't having fun. It wasn't. So what we've done is we've taken that, started a local tournament series here. Next weekend will be our second tournament of the year, and that has been so much fun. It has felt like family. It's no pressure. Everybody goes out. We have a good time, and just, that's what it's about. When you get to some of these bigger tournaments and stuff, it's so much pressure. It's just like, I don't want to be around it no more. It really is like that.
a lot of guys I hear that from a lot of guys. So
yeah. I'm not saying I won't fish some other tournaments here and there, but it won't be like I was. I have made that pledge, and plus we've been blessed with Carolina Lake Weights. Has grown now, going on into our 5th year. Has grown to a point where it keeps us busy. It really does. I was just telling you before the show, we've been very blessed with a lot of supporters and stuff, and that has actually taken away from a lot of time that we get to go fishing. And I tell you, if I can make your fishing trip better, it's worth it. It really is. I have fished a lot, and I'm going to fish as much as I can, but I haven't been able to do it as much. But if what we do here at Carolina Lake Weights makes everybody's trip better, man, it's well worth it. It really is.
I agree. I'm going to help my friends, even though it pisses a lot of guys off. Guys like, man, these guys are mad at you. I'm like, they think I'm giving up the secrets, and I don't care. I'm going to tell my friends where, how, when, what. I'm going to give them the good stuff. And they can be mad at me. These guys, I can tell you a lot of guides mad at me. I got a lot of guide buddies that are awesome that love me, but I also got a lot when I roll up to the lake, they're freaking shaking their head.
Hey, Chris, that just says, man, they're always thinking about what you're doing.
I'm not feeling bad. I can tell you right now, when I see that, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I'm like, all I'm here to do is have fun. And you're mad? Like, what are you mad at? I mean, I'm just coming here to have fun. So, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And when somebody gets mad at me for coming there to have fun, it just makes me want to come there again.
That's right. That's it. That's it.
I'm going to be back. You
That's
think
it, man.
now? Wait till I come back. You're going to continue to be mad, bro.
That's it. Tom said you gave me info the first time I met you at the ramp. And that's what it's about, man.
I agree. That's what it's about. If guys helped me, and I'm going to pay it forward. And if somebody needs some help, I'm going to help them. As long as I know you're turning them loose, I'm willing to help.
Yeah, John Wayne, that's it, man. It got to be just so much. It really has. But like I said, we've started doing one once a month for our local guys, or for anybody that wants to join us. And they've asked us, and it's not like a lot of the bigger tournaments. You don't hear no arguments. You don't have none of that bull crap. It's everybody brings their fish. We weigh them, we turn them loose, then we all stand around, we talk. It's a lot of fun. It really is, and that's what I enjoyed more than anything else there is.
I wish I lived closer. I'd come fish with y'all.
I tell you, man, it's a blast. Like I said, this is going to be our second one. We do it local with one of our bait shops here locally, myself and another gentleman that has a construction company. We got together. A lot of people was like, man, can y'all do something for us locals? We really want to get together and stuff. And so we put it together, and that's what it's about. I don't care if we got 5 boats or we got 20 boats. It's going to be just as much fun if we had 100 boats. So that's what it's about. And like I said, for all of our local people, if you ever want to come and join us, man, let me know. Shoot me a message. I'll shoot you the times. And let's go and have fun and enjoy the camaraderie.
Yep. Any of y'all need anything from me, you let me know. If I can't help, y'all find somebody that can. I might even be able to get some of Jamie's secret fishing holes.
Hey, Chris, I wasn't. A lot of people have asked me about stuff like that, and I've actually told a lot of people, but some things I got to still keep a little bit under the wraps.
Michael Cox says, last week he had a gentleman ask him if he could give him some tips on catching bigger fish. So he told him what he does and a place that he could go look for some bait all summer long.
There you go.
That's awesome, man. A lot of my really close friends, our friendship started that exact way right there.
That's it.
I met them at the ramp, or I met them on the lake, and they're like, "Hey, El Gato, how's it going?" I'm like, "Man, it's going great." And then we'll meet back at the ramp, and they'll pick my brain about how the day went and what's, I'm an open book, man. As long as you're friendly, I'll be friendly right back to you.
That's right. That's right.
Danny Weldon says, that's a fine young man. It made his night seeing him hugging on you. He's a good boy. He's a wild ass. For those that have fished with me when he's on a wild streak, he's either real chill or he is freaking all out, dude.
I think I'm going to have to find me
a good amount of people, and people don't like it and express their opinions. I'm with the positivity, not the popularity. Matt, that's how I am. I like to be around the positive types, and I do realize that repels a lot. That's not going to make you appealing to the whole mass. That's They don't like that. But who cares? I'm not trying to be an influencer. I don't need to be super popular. I just want my people to be a solid group of dudes. And I feel like, man, our group is about as solid as they get. It's all top-notch guys willing to help, willing to give their shirt off their back. Not mad when you do something good. Willing to say, hey, great job. All things that a good person should do
That's right.
in catfishing. So
There's nothing no better than a strong brotherhood. And Chris, I go through and I'm looking at our chat and stuff, man, and I feel that we've really have grown a strong brotherhood, and it's been unbelievable, man, at the amount of support that they have given us, and it's been awesome. It really has. And
I agree.
John Wayne says, same here. I put people on big gators in my spots that I've found gators, especially for beginners. Yep, beginners. I put them on an area with a known gator. It makes you feel good knowing you helped someone. That's
I
it.
agree.
That's it, man.
I agree. I think the biggest thing if you're going to help somebody is to help without expecting anything in return. Now, you don't want to go help somebody who's obviously going to go kill what you love, but once you get a good sense of the person, man, help. I think it's good to help people that aren't really maybe not in a position to help you right then. But hey, who knows what down the road's going to lead to? Because a lot of the guys I've helped now, they're helping me. It's come full circle. And now a lot of these guys are actually good anglers, and they're like, hey, I'm going to go fish there in the next week or whatever, and I can get info from them. Or, I think that's cool. That's something that's unique about fishing. It brings guys together.
That's it. Chris, something cool the other day, man. I was at our local bait shop. They had some customers come in, and the local bait shop that sells our stuff, and some beginner catfishermen and stuff, and they were looking at everything, and I went over and explained and even showed them how to hook it on the rods and stuff, man. And little things like that makes your day, man, when you can help people out. And and I saw that same people just the other day, and they come up and say, hey, I just want to say thank you. And they said we actually were able to catch some nice fish off of the stuff that you showed us, and how you told us to use your certain stuff, and it really does. It makes your day hearing things like that.
I agree. That's the beauty of it. So, Matt, I appreciate you, buddy. That'll go to Jackson's snack fund, the tornado snack fund. John, you are welcome on my boat anytime, and that goes for any of you guys. Y'all want to come fish with me? All you got to do is make it down here to Texas, and we'll make it happen. I like to fish. I will fish with anybody, anytime. We'll just make it happen. Our best fish is in the winter, but I mean, hell, we're gator gar fishing now, and if I can't get on my boat, then I can get somebody to take us. It's got a lot of buddies that I've taken fishing for years. So Vess says he's been doing dad shit. Sorry he's late. Hell, we're about to get out of here, buddy. Jamie's out.
As I'm getting ready to go do some grandpapa things.
Blood and Katie. Well, come on down, man. We'll make it happen.
Chris, can you hear me?
I got you. You went black for a few seconds, but you're good now. Vess is doing daddy stuff. Can you hear me, Jamie?
I got you. I couldn't hear you there for just a couple of seconds.
John Young, you're the best for the sport. Well, we're trying to do the positive thing, and I have noticed guys are like, oh, you can't be you can't be real and have a large group. If you're a real person, then your circle is small. I don't believe that is the case at all. What I have found is you have to keep a good solid group of guys. You can't allow negative crap to get in there because it will drive away the good guys. But once you have a core group, it just exponentially grows over time, and it becomes a giant group of good people. For guys that say, oh, you got to be fake if you've got a large, that's not true. I could tell you all of our guys are real dudes. They are really willing to help you. They're really willing to give you the shirt off their back. All very similar natured in that manner. That's my take on it. And I also feel like when you have a group of guys like what we got going on, it repels the negativity, because somebody that's like that don't want to be around guys that are willing to help. They want to be mad at you. So they ended up self-regulating out of there. They leave because they don't like being around guys that are doing that. It makes them feel bad about themselves. So it works almost twofold, where when you got a good group of guys, it's almost like a force shield that the negative dudes can't they can get in there for a little while and be fake, but they always show their colors and then they leave. Am I right, Jamie? They always
100%.
self-regulate out.
You're 100% right, man. It's like a self-cleaning filter. It will work
when we
itself.
first started doing this, I'm like,
out.
do I need to boot this guy? And Jamie's like, he'll take care of himself. Just give him a couple of weeks. He'll hang himself and then he'll leave.
That's it.
It's true. It's true. Matt, positivity makes some people uncomfortable and they say, oh, that's being fake. That's not being fake. That's being real. This positivity thing that we got going on is a real deal. So some people aren't comfortable with it. So be gone. It's not like we're all like angels, but we know how to treat people with respect. We know how to act professional. I'm not going to be some total a-hole just because somebody caught a fish, or somebody came and fished my lake. I'm going to be mad about it. That's not me.
Chris, I'm going to say this is how I am. I'm not two-faced and won't never be two-faced. I'm going to be who I am. There's a reason why I am who I am, and there's a reason that the good Lord has blessed us to be where we are today.
You become older and wiser. I've found that it's better for me to not even partake in their negative crap, because the younger me wouldn't have put up with it.
Yeah.
And we'd end up having some problems. The older me says, I'm not even going to waste my time. I'm going to focus on what's going on good over here. I'm just going to let all that just go. It's made my life a lot better. And a lot better dudes are attracted to want to be around that rather than be around that drama.
That's right.
Causing problems and mad about everything and talking trash about people.
That's one thing you won't see is Carolina Lakeways partaking in a lot of that stuff.
I get some guys don't understand my humor. They might get offended. I could probably be offensive from time to time. I mean, I get it. I apologize if I am. That's not what I mean. I'm just trying to be funny to my buddies, and sometimes people find that offensive. Like I'm not a real political guy, but I put up that post about the 2025 Dodge Protester Edition, Dodge Ram Protester Edition. It had a splatter on the red splatter all. You know, I'm not really saying let's go run over. I'm just trying to make somebody laugh, but triggered some people.
Heck yeah, John. That would be awesome, brother. That would be a good time for sure. I've
Yeah.
got some people that has actually already got with me. I've got some people coming into town soon. We're going to be going out doing some catching some blues and probably some flatheads. Last year, had a couple come into town. James was one that y'all saw live that night. We had a good time, man. Caught a lot of fish. We went down to Santee Cooper, come back, fished our local waters here on the intercoastal, the Big PD. So yeah, we had a good time. So anytime, brother, just let me know.
Eagle Eyes Juan Tienda says better late than never, Slime fam.
What's up?
Tail end of it, Juan. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Well, Jamie, when are you releasing the guard rig?
Probably going to be this week. The guard rigs, we're probably going to be releasing those probably this week. Not this week. I'm talking about this coming week.
Okay.
Not this week we're in now, but this coming week. So
I'll
y'all look forward.
hung up with them, so I'll go catch a giant this weekend.
So y'all look for those coming out. We're going to get those out. We're trying to get everything else back in stock. We got a lot of stuff back in stock already. We're out here in the shop busting it every day. We got a lot of things happening. We haven't forgotten about some of the other rigs that we've talked about. We're actually still going to be Chris is still going to go back. We're going to be fine tuning those. So probably those will be more towards what Chris we're thinking maybe fall, winter time on those.
Yeah,
So
fall. I'll probably fish with those. I'm going to start fishing with those right when we get our first cool rain. I will fish with those. I'll go catch some monsters up shallow with those.
Yeah. So that's what we're just making sure everything is perfect with all those rigs, guys. So we're gonna be releasing a lot more stuff. And like I said, I appreciate all y'all guys with the shirts and stuff, man. They've been awesome. Chris, the Slime Show shirt that you have on tonight, we will be putting those up here shortly for pre-orders. So y'all stick around for that.
I don't know how well pre-ordering does. Have y'all pre-ordered before?
We've never done it, but I tell you what we might end up doing. I don't know yet. We might end up ordering a lot of them, getting them in, and then doing it that way.
Maybe order some to see if they'll move. I mean, I know some of them will move.
Yeah.
The hats fly off the shelves. I don't know why the shirts wouldn't.
Yeah, I tell you, man, the hats. This past week, I can tell you, we probably had 15 of these. The Slime Show hats go out just this week alone. So, but we're going to talk, and I'm getting with my people, and we might see what we can do, and so we'll let y'all guys know here real soon.
Sun shirts. Yes, these are sun shirts. Jamie's got some lighter colored ones, which I wear this for the show, but it's getting too hot in Texas to wear a black shirt.
Yeah, so this right here, I can tell you guys, the one I've got on and this one here, and the other one back here have been going fast.
I've been wearing the Gen 1s you gave me 3 years ago.
Yep, and we've got some hoodie.
When I fish.
We got some gray hoodie DTF shirts also, but these shirts right here that y'all see, man,
those are 50 SPF shirts.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes. And
Tom says he's got his Slime Show hat today.
Yeah,
well, now you can go break that PB, buddy.
And y'all guys see that the black ones there are UV style shirts. They really pop at night.
So's mine.
Yeah. And Chris, I don't know if everybody I know the back of that one is really it's really wild, y'all. If y'all have never seen the back of that one, it's crazy.
I appreciate Rebecca making me this shirt. Cool shirt, man.
It really is, man. Y'all guys see it right there. That's another one, man. It really is. Next level catfishing, the slime show. So the slime show, we are working on getting a line of shirts and stuff out there, having its own line of stuff. So, and that's the first, besides the hats, that's the first line of shirts that will be coming out for the slime show.
I know what I'll be rocking all season.
Man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, appreciate all y'all coming in and celebrating my 51st birthday.
Brother, happy birthday, man.
Man, it was a good one. I wouldn't rather be anywhere but with you guys. So appreciate y'all coming and spending with me. Had a great time. Jamie, appreciate you being a good friend and brother to me.
Hey, brother, like always, man. Hey, you know, we wouldn't be doing anything else besides what we doing.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Let's keep doing it.
That's right. The 100th one, I can tell y'all guys, will be a heck of a good show. The 100th series, we're gonna have a lot of fun that night.
Yeah, we got a 100th episode show coming up. That'll be, we're at 90. What's 93?
Yeah, somewhere around there, Chris, I think. Yep.
93. I think I might have put 83 on the.
I saw 83 pop up earlier, but it was supposed to be 93.
Yeah, that's 93, not 83. I gotta have to go back and change that. We're on our 93rd show. We'll be doing the 100th show. We're gonna do a bunch of giveaways. Micah Burkhardt's gonna give away a rod. I'll probably give away a Mad Catz rod and reel combo. I'll probably give away some slime show gear from Jamie, some Carolina Lake weights.
That's it.
And Tub and Tackle's going to give away some type of CNC deal. I'll see if he can make a slime show. Something cool to give away. We'll give away a bunch of stuff to all of our people.
That's right, guys. And like I said, you know, we appreciate all the support, you know, that y'all give us here at the Slime Show, for us here at the Carolina Lake Weights. We love you guys, and thank you for everything y'all do for us too.
Guys, tight lines. God bless. Azul out.
Later, y'all.